1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2.
How are you and your wife doing these days?
Jason, my coworker who is spotting me, asks. Jason and I often go to the gym together after work like this. Well, same old Jason. It's breaking my heart. I've been married to my wife Kate for 3 years. Lately, she's clearly not happy with me. When we're at home together, she's obviously bored and her attitude is cold. When we first got married, she used to make home-cooked meals with lots of love. But lately, when I come home, there's just some uncooked instant noodles for me left on the table. My wife also works, so I thought maybe she's been busy with work lately. I'm sorry I've been a burden on you. I'll make sure to cook dinner when you can't, I said, but she responded with,
No, you don't need to do that. I'll just cook for myself.
In other words, she doesn't want to cook for me. So of course she refuses any lovey-dovey time of night. Recently, my wife bought herself a twin bed so she can sleep separately. I don't know what's the cause.
Hey, don't give up. Talk to her and find out what's wrong and what she has to complain about.
Jason? Yeah. Maybe I've been too busy worrying about Kate's mood to talk to her about it. Thanks, man.
You can talk to me anytime. Let's go for another set.
When I got home that day...
Oh, you're home.
Kate blurted out without even glancing at me, busy looking at her phone screen. I need to talk to you, I said in a serious tone and sat down in front of her. She was still looking at her phone as she replied.
What is it?
You do know we haven't been getting along very well lately. I'd like to know what your beef is with me.
I don't have anything to complain about.
Then why are you being so cold to me lately?
Cold? Me. I'm just my normal self.
No, you're not. You've obviously changed from when we first got married.
What? Of course. You can't keep the lovey-dovey atmosphere like newlyweds forever.
That may be true. But your attitude lately has been too much. What's causing it? If there's something you want me to fix, I'll fix it.
There's nothing to fix. You're so stubborn.
Can't you look at me while we're talking? Hey, stop looking at your phone. And I forcibly took the phone away from my wife.
What do you think you're doing?
I just want to talk to you.
Give it back.
I'm not going to give it back until you have a serious conversation with me.
Don't be silly.
With that, my wife started throwing the TV remote and magazines at me that were nearby. Hey, stop it!
Shut up! That's what you get for talking nonsense. Give me back my phone.
And now, she's throwing dishes at me from the cupboard. Hey, it's dangerous.
Give me my phone back.
Okay. I held out the phone to her and she snatched it out of my hand.
I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm going back to my parents' house.
Oh, wait. With that, she threw on her jacket and ran out of the house. Left alone, I picked up the things she had thrown and put them back where they belonged. However, all the dishes on the floor were shattered. Among them was a matching bowl we had bought when we first moved into this room after we got married. Oh, such a mess. When I tried to pick up the broken pieces, the shards pierced my fingers and my index finger bled. Suddenly, tears spilled out, and blood and tears alternately fell to the floor.
Morning. What happened to your finger?
The next morning when I arrived at work, Jason noticed my finger and came over to talk to me. Kate and I got into a huge fight. I told Jason everything that happened yesterday.
Man,
Jason was absolutely mortified.
I mean, your wife is terrible. So, what are you going to do?
I think I'll talk to her and try to make up with her again. I'm thinking of going out to her parents' house after work today.
Nah, I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, she's already so emotional. She'll go crazy if you go over to her parents.
Do you think so?
If you were in her shoes, wouldn't you want to reject them even more if they persistently come to you when you want to keep your distance?
Well, sure, I guess. I'm sure my in-laws would be on my wife's side too, so it might not be a good idea.
Maybe both of you need some time to cool off. Wait till she opens up on her own.
Okay, I'll try that. Being married is so difficult.
I'm still single, so I envy you for having to deal with that. I hope you and your wife can patch things up soon.
I feel a little better now that I talked to Jason about it. It's hard to know how to distance myself from my wife, but I'm going to wait until she opens up to me again. In the meantime, I sent her a message apologizing for making her upset yesterday and asking her to come home when she calmed down. She didn't reply, but it was left unread. But even after 2 weeks had passed, she still hadn't come home. Technically speaking, she had come to pick up a few things during the day when I was gone, as some of her clothes were missing. I got impatient and sent her a message again, asking her to come home so we could talk. This time, she didn't even read it. I couldn't take it anymore, so I called my in-laws. Could you please pass the phone over to Kate so I could talk to her? I asked, but my mother-in-law seemed confused on the other side of the phone call. Kate's not home, she replied. Well, Kate said she was going back to her parents' house. Oh, really? She hasn't been home since last New Year's. Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's nothing. It's my misunderstanding. I'm sorry I called you out of the blue. What the hell is going on? It didn't sound like my mother-in-law was lying. Where is she now? Is she staying at a hotel? Or is she... I didn't want to think about it, but I just couldn't get rid of the thought. Then, soon after, I got a message from my wife.
Can you please not call my parents' house without my permission?
Where are you?
It doesn't matter.
Are you having an affair?
What are you talking about? Of course not.
Be honest with me. You're probably with another guy, right?
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of you being so paranoid like that. I want a divorce.
What?
You're right. I have been cold towards you lately. I can't see you as a man anymore. It's been driving me crazy. Are you happy now? Now that you know the cause, let's get a divorce.
Hey, don't decide that on your own.
No matter what you say, I can't do it anymore. I want a divorce.
Can we fix it?
You are so persistent. You acting like a girl makes me frustrated too.
Can't we at least talk in person?
There's nothing to discuss. I'll mail you the divorce papers, and you can fill them out.
No, please. After that, no matter what I sent, I never heard back from her. A few days later, I received the half-filled divorce papers completed on Kate's side. I was so in shock that I took the next day off work. Jason came over to my house at night.
Hey, are you okay?
Jason, why?
Your wife had moved out of the house, and you took the day off because you weren't feeling well. I thought maybe you'd be lonely. Here, have a drink.
Thanks, but why bring a sick man a drink?
Something happened between you and your wife, and that's why you took the day off, didn't you?
You see through me, don't you? That's right.
What happened?
I showed Jason the divorce papers that were mailed to me.
Seriously? You didn't even get to discuss it.
I'm just so shocked.
So, you're just gonna turn this in?
I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I don't know if it's a good idea to break up like this. But honestly, I'm tired of being pushed around by Kate.
I see. Well, I don't want to see you down about it. I brought a lot of booze, so let's drink. We're off work tomorrow, so we're drinking all night.
All night? What are you, a university student? Jason's cheerfulness saved me from my mental breakdown. I was grateful to have a good colleague, or rather, a good friend. We ended up drinking until morning, and Jason and I both got drunk and passed out. I woke up early in the afternoon. Jason was still sprawled out on the floor, asleep. Then, the phone on the table rang. I picked up the phone, still sleepy, thinking it was mine, and realized it was Jason's phone. Oh, oops. I froze when I saw the incoming call screen on Jason's phone. It showed the name Kate. No way. That's not Kate, is it? I jogged my memory. I didn't think my wife and Jason had any connection. But then I remembered something. There was that one time. It was when Jason and I were having a drink at a pub. Jason said to me,
"Why don't you invite your wife over too?"
when I received a call from my wife, and the three of us had a drink. No way! Did they start their relationship from there? But the name Kate on the screen could be someone else with the same name. Jason has been so helpful to me. There was no way he was having an affair with my wife. But just to be safe, I decided to hire a detective to investigate if they knew each other. A few weeks later, I received a document with the results. I was speechless when I saw the enclosed photos. It showed my wife and Jason coming out of Jason's room. Oh no! I was about to lose it. Jason, who had been my closest ally, was my worst enemy. I immediately went to Jason's house with the pictures.
Coming! What? Why?
I know Kate is in there.
Wait a minute. What do you mean?
Shut up. I know you and Kate are having an affair. I say that and try to force my way into the house.
Okay. I'll let you in. Just don't get so violent.
Jason leads me into the living room, and there sits my wife with a pale face. I sat down on the couch with a thud, spread the photo evidence on the table, and yelled in anger. You two were lying to me all this time. You both laughed at me behind my back, didn't you? Jason and my wife, sitting side by side, take a look at each other. Then Jason opens his mouth tediously.
I didn't mean to lie to you. I just thought that a natural divorce would make it easier for us to be together. I thought it was going so well when you took my advice, and you guys got into a big fight. How did you find out we were having an affair?
Your phone had Kate's name on the incoming call screen.
Oh, that time we drank all night.
Jason had a "you got me" look on his face. Then, Kate spoke up.
I don't care if you know. In fact, it's a good thing that you know now. We love each other, so I want a divorce. I'll pay you alimony. Whatever you want.
I was stunned at how open my wife was about it.
You see what I'm saying? I don't care about you anymore. So get out of our way. Just go home.
I wanted to punch them both in the face, but I held back. If I hit them, I'd be at a disadvantage. My wife was glaring at me, while Jason tried not to make eye contact with me. I put away the pictures on the table, got up, and left the house. Then, I filed for divorce and filed for alimony from my wife and Jason through my lawyer. They paid me $30,000 each. I had never spoken to Jason since then. A few months later, Jason married my ex-wife. At first, the people at work celebrated Jason's marriage. But when they found out it was to my ex-wife, they all had mixed expressions on their faces. But since Jason was the boss's favorite, it didn't interfere with his work. In fact, he even got a promotion. I was getting more and more uncomfortable at the company, so I voluntarily resigned from my job and changed to a different company. I had been working in corporate sales, but now I decided to take the plunge and become a trainer at a gym. I just wanted to start my life anew. The gym seemed to be a good fit for me, and I started getting a lot of customers. The other trainers and receptionists at the gym were also very nice, and we all got along very well. And when we all went out for a drink, I ended up sitting next to Amy, who worked as a receptionist at the gym. Amy was the same age as me, and we had a lot in common. And as we were talking about each other, I realized that Amy and Jason went to the same college. So I casually asked her about it. Wasn't there a Jason Miles at your university? I think he was in the same major as you. Amy's face stiffened. Oh, sorry. Did I ask something inappropriate?
No. Is Jason your friend?
Well, not really a friend, but a colleague from my former company.
I see.
Actually, he slept with my wife and took her from me.
What?
Oh, it's awkward to talk about something like this out of the blue, isn't it? But I'm really frustrated, and every once in a while, I remember it, and I get so angry that I can't do anything about it. Amy was silent for a moment and then said,
Could we talk somewhere else after this?
What? Yeah, sure. And after the drinks were over, we went into a nearby bar. So, what did you want to talk about?
Actually, it was when I was a freshman in college.
Amy told me that she was in the same club as Jason. There was a welcome party for new students, and Jason suggested that they drink again with just the freshmen, and afterwards, the four of them ended up drinking in Jason's room. After a little while, the other two students said they'd go buy some food and left, leaving Amy alone with Jason. At first, they chatted normally, but then Jason suddenly started touching her body. Amy resisted, but Jason held her down and forced himself on her. When the others returned from the shopping trip, Jason acted as if nothing had happened, and Amy was too afraid and embarrassed to talk to anyone about it. Amy says that even now, sometimes she unexpectedly remembers the incident and feels helpless. I couldn't hold my anger when I heard that story. He's lived his life the way he wanted to, and messed up other people's lives multiple times. Amy, will you cooperate with me?
What?
I'm going to punish Jason for what he's done. Otherwise, I don't think you and I will ever be able to move forward. Amy looked down and was silent for a moment, then looked up and agreed to fight with me. I then worked with Amy to contact some of her former classmates to see if there were any other victims of Jason's. We found Jason's victims in the same club and in the same laboratory. There were 4 victims in total, including Amy. All of them had been raped by Jason in the same way, and all of them had cried themselves to sleep because they couldn't speak up. At first, they were reluctant to reveal their trauma, but Amy convinced them to cooperate. Later, I went to my old workplace. Everyone seemed very surprised to see me. I stood in front of Jason's seat. Jason was on the phone with a client with his back to me. When he finished the call, Jason spun around because he noticed the commotion in the office.
What? Ben, what are you doing here?
I came to talk to you.
What? I ain't got nothing to say to you anymore.
I continued, loud enough for everyone in the office to hear. 4 women who have been sexually abused by you in the past are suing you. You are going to pay for the mess you've done of their lives. There was quite a stir in the office when I said that. Okay, that's it then. Oh, and tell my ex-wife I said hi for getting mixed up with a criminal.
Oh, hey Ben, what the hell are you talking about?
I ignored Jason's words and walked away. Jason was subsequently arrested by the police, who accepted the complaint. Jason hired an attorney and offered to settle the case, but the girls refused to accept the settlement, and Jason was charged with a criminal offense. As a result, Jason was sentenced to 20 years in prison. I am so glad that the girls spoke up, because they were just in time for the statute of limitations to run out on the case. I know it must have been difficult for the girls to go through all kinds of questioning by the police and lawyers, and to have their past dredged up, but they did a great job. I hope they can overcome their past and find happiness in the future. After Jason was arrested, my ex-wife contacted me. My ex-wife said,
Jason was a liar. I didn't think he was such a lousy man.
She was lamenting about something, but I told her, you had it coming, since you're the one who chose him, so you deserve it. That's what I told her. My ex-wife is being ridiculed at work as a woman who had an affair with a sex offender and married him, and she's feeling very ashamed of herself at work. She really deserved it. I, on the other hand, I'm gained experience as a gym trainer and recently started my own private gym. I'm having a great time doing what I love. I'd like to get back into dating if I get to meet the right person.
Thank you for watching to the end. Please don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next